Listening to the voice of the developer of the supravantage. This is a two-part monologue. The first part is to the Wall Street financial professional, specifically those carrying Series 7 licenses, Series 65, hedge fund managers, pension managers and administrators, people with fiduciary responsibilities. In short, those that manage and oversee money with the goal of seeking returns, and the money you're overseeing belongs to someone else. That's pretty much who I'm talking to in this first part. In the second part, we're going to address that monologue to the customer, the retail customer and the institutional customer alike. The objective is to bring a prediction. I'm going to make some prophecies in these monologues. And these are important to both parties that I'll be talking to, because I see things that are happening that I feel are worth talking about. So now we're going to go into the first part. And I encourage those of you to listen to both monologues. Those are the financial professionals. Please listen to this one, and I want you to hear what I have to say to the customer. And to the customer, I'd like for you to listen to what I have to say to the financial professional as well. To the financial professional, and I myself am a financial professional, so I'm speaking to myself as well when I say these things to you. Our mandates. From what I can see, we're first and foremost not to abuse the public's trust. We should always try to do our best for a customer, always and at all times, to continuously study, conduct research, continuously seeking ways to improve and develop our skill of managing assets that are put under our care. That's what we need to do. But we failed. Our failures, we have lost the trust of the public. And we can cite blunder after blunder after blunder from those that really should be much smarter than what they ultimately display. And there's very little commitment to improvement. There's a complacency, if you will. This monologue is a prediction of an evolution that is taking place, that I think that we as financial professionals need to recognize and get out in front of and make some determinations. I'm talking about an economic natural selection process. Economic Darwinism, if you will. There are many dinosaurs amongst us. And what I mean by dinosaur, I mean those that are failing to perform. They're struggling. And they're always finding themselves at the mercy of the market. You know who you are when you find yourselves at the mercy. We're all adults here. And you know if you fall in the category of a dinosaur. You know about your performance. I may or may not. You know when you're at the mercy of the market. You know when you're holding your breath, hoping things just go your way because that's all you have is hope. And you know to the degree you're struggling to perform and hang on to assets and to keep your customers from basically leaving you or giving you such a hard time or rattling your cage to the degree you can't handle it because of all the things that are going on. Those are the dinosaurs. And then when you consider the supravantage, when many and most of the financial professionals thus far that I've introduced this to either don't believe that we're able to do the things we do, or they don't even react when introduced properly to the progressive ideas that we're putting on the table. They don't believe, or they don't react. They may believe, but then they don't react. But yet they still continuously make excuses and fail to perform. I can't understand what's happening. We at the supravantage, we are not at the mercy of the market, and we perform. I think you all may want to listen to the interview that was conducted by myself with Cedric Burrow on WallStreetInsight.net on the Cedric Burrow's page. There are 2 interviews. I encourage you as a financial professional to listen to those interviews. It's a little tough to take, but it's something I think you really need to hear. The reality is, for many of y'all not to believe and not to react, but on the other side of the aisle, there are intellectuals, and there's a whole population of folks of another persuasion. They're not at all surprised at what we're doing. There are new concepts that are circling around that are very forward-looking and advanced. And I see many possibilities in some of the methods that people are starting to try to develop. But yet there's still many of you that are asleep. It's just the supravantage is the first to a growing feeding frenzy on the weak dinosaurs. Because I've started to feed on some of you all, and it will probably start to progressively increase. But I'm just the first. I'm not going to be the last. I can see others that are gathering. It's just that the supravantage has the advantage for now, and that is for now. We will probably keep it for quite some time. But this is something that we can't stop. So what's happening? The supravantage can't tilt the scale alone. Once we feed to our fill, others will come, I assure you. And you, under the sound of my voice, that remain asleep, will probably get picked off, just like the birds getting picked off by the hawk. And what I mean by feed, let me be clear. Feeding pretty much equals ACATs. Account transfers out of your institutions to other institutions that are of the progressive persuasion, which will lead to less and less revenues, which will ultimately squeeze you out of the business, if not altogether. That's the reality. Performance and the numbers always matter. We've always played a numbers game. It's always been only about your numbers. It's the way it is at the firm. And it's going to swing another way because of this evolution. That's what I'm saying. Markets are efficient. Once customers know they can demand more in performance, because the reality is it can be done, the pressure for those that are still not performing will increase dramatically. But this is the catch, and you all know there must always be a ratio of winners to losers. So what's going to happen? The market will be saturated by the winners, and everyone else will still have to be losers. But now the losers will see that there is a new generation of winners, and now there will be higher expectations, higher pressures applied for those financial professionals that are still behind the curve. This is a classic case of musical chairs. There still can only be so many winners. So when one finds themselves outside of the winning column, and the winning column is now saturated, those can be very dire circumstances. It's all about evolution, progress. We went from buggy whips to replacing tires on cars. Now we're replacing chips in those same cars. The folks that tried to keep the buggy whips in vogue, they lost the battle. It always wins. Evolution always wins. And we, as financial professionals, need to recognize the evolution that's taking place. There's still room in the winner's column, to one degree or another. So now you as a financial professional have to ask yourself, am I going to try to move into that bracket? Or am I going to try to fight it out on my own, alone, doing the things that have constantly failed me over and over and over again? My advice is to become informed. Find the truth. You have to make a decision about this information that's being disseminated. Take a side. Sit on one side of the aisle or another. And you have to improve yourself. Immediately improve yourself. There is no more room for continuous failure. The public is rearing up. There's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of uneasy feelings. There's a lot of friction, to say the very least. And we must recognize that as servants to the public. Now, right now, just so you all know, I've been conducting a behavioral study to determine how I need to implement and deploy the technology of the supravantage with the least amount of collateral damage to you, my competitors, and to find a way to do this in the most fruitful and efficient manner possible. But after long deliberations and considerations, I see now there will be casualties in this transition. No matter what. These casualties are going to fall either at my hand or someone that comes behind me, because as I said, I see many others that are of the informed persuasion gathering in my rearview mirror, so to speak. So they'll be coming even if I don't come. And what I mean by overtake, I want to re-emphasize the ACAT process. Many of you all know what I'm talking about. And if all your assets under your control get transferred away, or a large degree, it kills your income stream. And that's what will begin to happen, because there will be a shift in expectations, a shift in the level of awareness, a shift in the pressures that are applied. I see now there's nothing we can do about this. I see too many things happening, too many academic studies being done, too many things that are leading to folks coming up with many of the same answers that I'm coming up with, if not some that are a little bit, I guess, less extreme, and others may come up with signals that are even better than that of the supravantage. There's going to be a rainbow of performers coming through the ranks, I assure you. So what I'm saying right now, to come forth on your own free will and seek personal and professional improvement while help is being offered. We all have issues, even the supravantage. If you were to read Strengths and Weaknesses on supravantage.net, it's supravantage.net, there's a whole system of strengths and weaknesses. In another section on human pitfalls as it relates to our system and things we're trying to deal with. So with all due respect, and we are the champions of the stock exchange, and we have issues that we have to talk about. So anyone under the sound of my voice, I'm sure you have issues as well that you need to talk about. And now is the time, because I can't guarantee that anyone that comes behind me will offer you any aid and assistance. They may just compete with you and hurt the dinosaurs. I myself, I'm a Christian. I feel maybe I should try to do the right thing initially for now. But even I myself will have to turn into a competitor. And the dinosaurs, again, those that are struggling and you know who you are. Those that are at the mercy of the market, holding their breath, hoping for the best. You know who you are. You're going to have to ask yourself some questions. It's soul searching time. So with that said, I'm signing off. And I encourage you to come forth, get the help you need. God bless.